Thank you for the presentation, and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here and to have the possibility to present what Truboden does. So the agenda is to talk a little bit about the history of Truboden and the product we do, the ORC features that oversees our product, some heat recovery projects we have done, especially the references in the cement application. Some learnings from this waste heat recovery project that we have done till now, and also something new that we are studying. Okay, the company was founded in the 80s, so now we have 35 years of experience, and was founded by a professor of the University of Milan, the Politecnico. And the first 15 years, the company was more focused on research and development, because at that time the ORC technology was still a new technology. The industrialization of the product started at the end of 90s. So now the oldest unit that we have in operation has more than 15 years. In 2009, the company was acquired by American group, UTC Corporation. But 2 years ago, MHI, so Japanese company Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, was interested in the small-scale power production, and he acquired from UTC PW Power System that is producing gas turbines, and ORC technology, so the Truboden 51% of shares. Now we have more than 300 ORC units sold, 250 of them in operation, mainly in Europe, but also in other non-European countries. So, what we do is the organic Rankine cycle power block. That is this machine that you see here. The ORC is very similar to a steam Rankine cycle, but we use not water as in the traditional steam Rankine cycle. We use organic fluid. The ORC technology can be coupled with different kinds of sources, so we are not only present in the cement business, but we are present in several kinds of applications. So, for example, the biomass application, which you have wood biomass, or the heat recovery in both industrial process or small combined cycle, in the waste-to-energy business, in the geothermal application, and also in the solar, the CHP, concentrated solar power application. The sizes we produce goes from 200 kilowatt up to 15 megawatt. Just some words about the thermodynamic cycle. So basically, we need an external heat source, and this heat source is used to create and evaporate the organic fluid, and then this organic fluid that is a high pressure will expand in a turbine. The turbine is connected to a generator, so there is the electric power production. Then, at the end of the expansion, the ORC at high temperature, the organic vapor at high temperature is used in an internal heat exchanger called a regenerator, and then it is condensed to close the cycle in a normally cooling water condenser. We may use different kind of working fluids. So there are 3 main families. I would say silicon-based fluid, hydrocarbons, or fluorinated fluids. So depending on the level of temperature and sizes of the ORC, it's possible to select the most appropriate fluid to be used. Low temperature application, like geothermal application, is mostly used fluorinated fluids or some hydrocarbons. When we go to medium to high temperature application, so higher than 200, 250 degrees, the two most used families of fluids are hydrocarbons or silicon-based fluids. So in this slide, we just present some differences that there are between the traditional Rankine cycle and the organic Rankine cycle. So the main difference is due to the shape of the liquid-vapor equilibrium curve. This is the water-vapor equilibrium curve, and this is a typical liquid-vapor equilibrium curve for organic fluid. So in a steam turbine, when you have saturated steam, you must superheat your steam, otherwise you have a liquid formation inside the turbine. While with organic fluid, there is no need to superheat the fluid because due to the shape of the curve, when you enter in the turbine, so here you are entering the turbine, at the outlet of the turbine, you are always in a dry expansion. So you have a dry expansion with the organic fluid. This gives some advantages, especially in partial load operation. So basically in partial load, we can work down to 10% of the load because we just change the evaporation pressure of the working fluid, without having any possibility of wet expansion like in this traditional steam Rankine cycle. There are some other more technical details, differences that maybe if you are interested we can discuss later because I don't have enough time. But if we go to operational and maintenance cost differences, what is a good advantage of the RC for the sizes in which we are focused, so between 1 megawatt to 10 megawatt, is that the RC is a simple machine and is a high level of automation. So basically, since you are a cement producer and you want to focus on the cement production, you don't want to be a power producer. And the organic Rankine cycle, the ORC, is disadvantaged not to give you a headache about thinking on the power production because it's a completely automatic machine. Also, maintenance costs are lower compared to the traditional steam Rankine cycle, so on the long term there are some benefits related to the operational and maintenance. This is an example of the partial load efficiency of the RC. So as said, we can work down to 10% of the load. In this axis, we have the load, while here is reported the efficiency. So when we are at 100% of the load, we have the maximum of the efficiency, while if we work at half of the load, 50%, the efficiency decreases a little bit, but still quite good. And then it's possible even to work down to the 10% of the load. This is an example of a working unit that is working in connection to a batch process. So basically, every 1 hour and a half, the thermal power available for the RC is decreasing, and the white line is indicating the gross power output of the unit, and the red line is the hot source temperature. So you see that the white line, so here is 2.7 megawatt is produced in this time. Then when the temperature of the hot source decreases, also the power inlet decreases, and so the power output consequently decreases. And we are working at 300 kilowatts, so around 10% of the load. And this in an automatic way, so we don't need any external signal saying that something around the ORC is changing. In the heat recovery application, The traditional schema is using a heat carrying loop between the exhaust gas and the ORC. Turboilers produce the ORC only, so we know we are in contact with several heat exchanger producers, and especially in the cement application, we know several companies that do this part, that can do this part. And so normally there is this heat exchanger that is heating up a heat carrier. The heat carrier can be thermal oil, that is the most used up to now, saturated steam, pressurized water, or even molten salt. So any kind of heat carrier that is used in the industry. These are our references in the world, and so I've divided them for application. So we have the several applications, the sizes, the number of plants, the working fluid we used, and also the heat carrier. So as you see, we have several applications, starting from wood biomass, geothermal, combined cycle application, so connection of ORC with gas turbine or reciprocating engines. The waste to energy, the industrial heat recovery, in which there are some cement references, but also references in the glass industry, steel industries, and aluminium industry, and also some solar thermal power application. The sizes goes from 200 kilowatt, and now the biggest sold unit is a 8 megawatt unit, but we are also dealing with bigger units. The number of plants in operation in the wood biomass application is, I would say, the most common for Tubolen because of incentives in the renewable energy in Europe. So there are more than 250 plants in the wood biomass. If we go to the industrial heat recovery, we have 12 plants, and for a total of 25 megawatt. Working fluids, we have a wide experience with different kind of working fluids, with the 3 families that we were presenting before. And also, let's say we can use we have used up to now 9 times different working fluids. So we have capability to use and to select the proper working fluid for the specific application. Heat carrier also, we are quite flexible because we have designed ORC that are fed by thermal oil, by saturated steam, pressurized water, and also we have some units that are using directly the exhaust gas without having any heat carrier loop. Going to the references in the cement application, we have the first reference in Morocco for Italcementi Group. In this case, they did the heat recovery only from the preheater side, and it's a 2 megawatt plant. It's in operation since 2010, and the cooling is through a water-cooled condenser plus air cooler. So here we have a picture of the preheater heat exchanger, the ORC room. So inside this building there is the ORC. Here you have all the thermal oil ancillaries, so pump, expansion vessel, and so on. And just next to the ORC room, there are the air coolers. The goal of this plant was not to consume any water. So they decided not to go with steam cycle, but to use ORC because it has the advantage that it doesn't consume any water. What is interesting of this plant, and it was also presented in last month in a global cement conference in Toronto, is that after we installed the ORC, so after 1 or 2 years, they decided to install a CHP, so concentrated solar power field. You see these 3 big, very big. I visited there, and it's huge. I would say you. This is a man. So just to give you the dimension of this parabolic solar collector. So inside here on this pipe, they are heating up with thanks to the solar power. They are heating up air that then is also heating up thermal oil. So they are integrating the thermal power from the preheater with some thermal power from the solar field. So this is a good example of integration between the OC, let's say, to have different kind of sources to feed one single ORC. There was no need of any modification from our side, and just some modification on the control logic of the thermal circuit. And now it's in operation since some months. A second plant we have in operation is in Romania for Holcim. In this case, the heat recovery is done from both preheater side and clinker cooler side. Also in this case there is a particularity. So on the preheater side, the heat carrier is thermal oil, while on the clinker cooler side, the heat carrier is pressurized water. Also in this case, this is a good example of optimization that we have done together with the heat exchanger supplier and the final customer. The ORC is in operation since the second quarter of 2012, and is a 4 megawatt plant. For this plant, we have analyzed the data in a WAVES project that I will present just later. So it's available on the website of WAVES project, a paper reporting the analysis about this plant. Just some words about WAVES project. Hestur Boden will participate at several European Commission programs, especially related to renewable energy or innovation or sustainability in the energy-intensive industry. One of those is this project called WAVES, and that has the objective to develop standard units for the waste heat recovery, and also to spread the project and promote the technology that helps to increase the energy efficiency in the industry. The other project that is in operation is in Slovakia. Again, it's for Holcim, but as we heard this morning, Holcim Slovakia will sell all the units to probably CRH, so we will have a new customer here. This is a 5 megawatt plant. In this case, there is also heat recovery from both sources, and in this case, the selective thermal oil has a heat carrier for both sources because the temperature of clinker cooler air was quite high, and so was, from an efficiency point of view, was better to use thermal oil. And now is 1 year that is operating this plant. The ORC is inside this very nice building. Then we have a unit that is already on site in Canada. It was designed for 7 megawatt. The site is Ontario and is now on hold the project because of this merging between Holcim and Lafarge. So it is there. We will see what will happen once the merge will be finished. And another reference plant that is going to start up in 1 month is again in Romania, is for Carfax Cement, that is Heidelberg Group, and Mr. Principato was importing this project. And also in this case, there is a heat recovery from both sources, the preheater and the clinker cooler, with thermal oil loop. What is different in this case is that we are using a direct condensation with air. So instead of using a water-cooled condenser, we use an air condenser. So here is the footprint of the ORC with the air condenser. And the electric power output, the gross power output is 3.8 megawatt. So what we have learned in the several heat recovery projects that we've done, not only in the cement field but also in other industrial, in other industries, is that the heat recovery plant is composed by several main items. One of these is the ORC, but there are other items that are important, like the heat recovery exchanger and the circuit, but also the cooling system that sometimes is not really reliable, I would say. We had some problem in some units, and so I would say the power production depends on the reliability of all the items that are around the ORC. So what is important is not only to focus on the ORC and the heat recovery exchanger, but also to all the minor items that are around it, because the cooling water quality influence the ORC power production. So it's important to take care of everything that is around the ORC. So to have a waste heat recovery plant, a reliable waste heat recovery plant, all the items you have must be reliable too. Also, another important point that we like to underline is the communication and collaboration between the customer and the supplier, but also between the several suppliers, because sometimes we are the ORC supplier, but we have to interface with other suppliers, and so it's important to be coordinated. Otherwise, you discover that something is missing when you arrive on site, and so even if sometimes it seems that we are asking something that is not really related to the ORC, it's just to be aligned and to be sure that everything is going well from the beginning up to the commissioning and even later. So a lot of times also the projects are not on new projects, so you have a lot of space and you can do almost what you want. A lot of times the projects are on existing plants, so the layout is a big constraint. And so also it's good to communicate about the layout and finding together solutions that can minimize the impact on the cost, on civil works, and so on. Finally, what's new? We are now studying and proposing the direct exchange from the clinker cooler stream. So basically, up to now, we have seen that the project done were considering to have heat carrier loop. But of course, if we want to decrease the investment costs and increase the power output, we can also study this possibility to use directly the exhaust gas from the clinker cooler to heat up and evaporate the organic fluid. This is something new for us in the cement field, while we have done other projects and we'll see in other fields. And the goal to have this direct exchange when you have available the clinker cooler solution is, as said, to increase the net power output because you don't have the thermal oil captive consumption, and to decrease the investment cost because, of course, you don't have the additional thermal oil circuit. Of course, there are some limitations related to the fact if you have several thermal power heat source, it's better to have a heat carrier loop, or if you have a discontinuous thermal source, also the heat carrier can is more flexible, and even if there are some layout constraints, these are the barriers to see. But of course, there are advantages in when it's possible to use this solution. These are the direct exchange reference projects. So the application we have done to now are in the diesel engine application, in the rolling mill, so in a steel industry, and in the gas turbine. If you need, if you would like to speak more in detail about this, I'm available, because now my time is finished. And so, just to conclude, Turboden has a long experience in the ORC field. We have more than 300 ORC units in operation and 35 years of experience. And we have also some references in the cement plants. The ORC features are that it's automatic, it has practically no impact on the cement production process, low operation and maintenance requirement, and in case you have lack of water on site, it can give no water consumption. Also, we have talked about some learning in the heat recovery projects, so the importance to have reliability in components, and the optimization of the solution together with customer and heat exchanger supplier. Of course, we can provide a tailor-made solution according to your requirements, and also innovative solution to try to minimize the investment cost. Thank you.